Okay, I got a question. Lauren said hello, and I hadn't hit the go live yet. Lauren, if you are still here, did you see my face and everything before I actually hit go live? Or did it just show that I'm going live? I got to figure this out because I was blowing my nose and doing everything else. And can you hear me well? Is my mic too loud? I need help because I haven't done this in a while. I did not. It just showed that you were going, oh, okay, cool. Good stuff. Can you hear the background music? I like the background music, but I'm not. Okay, you hear me well? Can you hear the background music well? Yes. Okay, cool. I'm not going to leave it on there, but I like the way it sounds for now, just for my intro. I try to upload my personal intro that I have on CapCut, but I have to change it in the MP4 format. It's always something. But anyways, glad you're here, Lauren. I appreciate you so much. And anybody else that jumps on the live, we're going to discuss 2 videos. I can't be here very long, but I have a feeling I'm going to overstay my welcome because you guys are always so engaging. But first and foremost, giving honor to the Most High for waking us up this morning and giving us another chance to be better today than we were yesterday. You're welcome. But we're going to discuss 2 videos. And let me figure out, let's turn this little music off. Sounds good though. I like it. I'll play it at the end. All right. Let's see. Now I can't see that. Oh, there we go. All right. So we're going to discuss these things and you guys tell me your thoughts. But before we do that, I watched a video earlier with Ashley L. Dalton. She always gives advice on like leveling up and things like that. And there was a woman that came on there, and maybe I'll link the video in the description later on, but a woman came on and she was talking about her marriage and how she didn't know how bad she had it until she went on a TikTok and realized all of the things that she was missing in her marriage. Now, I will give her some grace because during the interview, we find out that she has a 2-month-old baby, and her husband, while she was pregnant, got another woman pregnant, and he goes back and forth between her and the wife. So I don't know if she got on TikTok first and realized that she was missing things, or came to this understanding all of a sudden and started treating her husband differently, and then he stepped out, and then that's how things changed, or if all of this just happened. Her marriage was bad. She's going through all these things with her husband, and then she goes to TikTok to find out, like, is this normal? Is this right? You know? But I just find that interesting. But we'll never know the events, the timeline of events. But either way, you know, social media can be a blessing and a curse. And I think it's really sad when people are content with what they have and then they go online and then, you know, see what other people are saying and then kind of change their desires to that. You know, I'm not saying that she should be okay with cheating and all of that. Absolutely not. But what made her go online in the first place? You know, and secondly, we should be talking to God, you know, when we're not happy rather than reaching out to social media because there's just too much debauchery going on there. But let me start this video, you guys, and then we'll talk about it while it's going. Mm-mm-mm.
Million followers. We're in the billions of views. And we're a small town.
dilemma here. How far is too far to drive to meet a guy on the first date? That's what she's asking. That's what she's asking y'all.
So listen, I'm gonna be pausing it in between and just discussing, and then you guys chime in and tell me what you think, okay? Shout out to whoever else is on the live besides Lauren. I appreciate you being here. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you have not already. Appreciate you. All right, here we go.
Comment section of this video is hilarious. So I'm gonna play her video right here, y'all. That's what she's asking. She said, "Is 4 hours too far to drive to meet a guy on the first time?" We gonna answer the question now. Come on.
How far would you drive?
Before I let this go, let me just remind you guys, this guy's name is Lee Hammock, and he is a self-diagnosed, and I think clinically diagnosed narcissist. So his whole shtick is basically teaching people, specifically women, what to look out for in narcissists and just how his mind thinks and why men do the things that they do, right? So he's probably what most people would call a panderer, maybe, because he's telling all the secrets of like narcissistic men, but he's self-diagnosed and I think he's clinically diagnosed, and so he just shares things. But he's going to give his take on this woman who drove 4 hours. Okay, I've already watched it, and she's got an interesting story, and but we're going to discuss it. So I just want to give a little background here. Okay, she drives 4 hours to see this man that she don't know.
To meet a guy for a date. So I'm sharing the mistakes that I made so that hopefully someone else doesn't have to learn like the hard way like I did.
Uh-oh.
But so, I meet this guy on a dating app, and we were getting along really well. We eventually like moved off the app, and I shared my phone number, and we were talking every day for like at least a week. And so he had talked about like coming to see me. So he lived in Houston, which was like 4 hours away from me. So it was like a little bit of like an arrangement, like planning needing to be made, right? And so he plans to come see me. And then like right before the trip, he says like his car broke down and it's in the shop. And so he didn't know when it would be fixed. So I was...
Oh, Lord. Let me pause right there, y'all. As always, my car in the shop, my car needs to be fixed, this, that, right before something happens. Now, could they be true? Could they be true? Could it be true that his car was in the shop and just so happened to have a malfunction? Yeah, my car did the other day. I was at the grocery store, battery died on me. Had to get a whole new battery. But I knew that thing, my car old. I knew something was going to happen. I'm not planning a 4-hour trip in that car either. So
I was like, oh, that's fine. Like, maybe I can come to you, right? Because we were getting along really well. And he was like, I would love it if you could do that. So,
of course.
At first I was like, do I really want to drive to like meet this guy? Like, is that a little bit weird? Do I look, thirsty or some type of way going?
Yes. Yes, an emphatic yes, you do. What do you guys think? I mean, the original plan was for them to meet halfway, right? Which is pretty reasonable. You just meet somebody, you've been talking for a while, you finally want to meet up in person to see if the chemistry is there. They live 4 hours away. As the woman, though, should she have volunteered to go all the way to see him? And do y'all think that his car breaking down was real? I mean, it's life, right? Things do happen. You have all these plans and then something happens. To me, I take everything as a sign, right? So if I'm the guy and I'm planning on taking a 2-hour trip to meet somebody that I don't know and my car breaks down, for me, that's a sign. Maybe this ain't the right time, or maybe she just ain't the one, or maybe I need to take more time getting to know her. And also on her end, like, yo, he can't meet me now. Maybe I need to pump the brakes a little bit and just continue getting to know this guy, and also to see how far he's willing to go in order to meet me. Like, am I worth him driving 4 hours to come see after his car is, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Lauren says, I was swindled in the past by some dating apps. Listen, that's why I stopped getting on the apps. The last guy I met on an app was, let's see, how long ago was that? Maybe 4.5 years ago. And oh my God, he was the last. And I said, I'm not doing this no more. That man was a user. He thought he was about to be my dependent. He thought he was gonna be he was like, oh, she active duty, she making money. I'm about to be her. Yeah, no, it was a wrap. That one lasted 2 months, and Mo was out of there. What up, Wolfpack, man? What's good with you? Lauren says, I would have been that person that would have done that drive back in the day. Yep, it's probably a lying excuse. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna see. Let's see what ends up happening. The story does get worse, okay? Let's play it. Let's see.
To go meet him, but I also wanted to be understanding, because I do understand like things happen, and it just so happened to be like a weekend where we were both going to be free. And I was working like 7 days a week, guys. So like having that weekend free, like was like my window.
Yep.
So,
yep, that was absolutely her window right there to go see him. But again, it just seemed like it's low effort on his end of things. I could be wrong there, right? I could be wrong.
Okay, so here's my thing too. If you work, say 5, 6, 7 days a week, and this is your only downtime, would you risk driving 4 hours? Like, if that's your only day, your only weekend to get some rest.
Hey, it's Tony Robbins. I've had the privilege of the last 48 years to be obsessed by a question.
Hush up, Tony Robbins. Are you going to take 4 hours out of that time you could be resting to drive to go see some man you don't even know? That's where the desperate energy comes in at for me. That's where it kind of is looking a little third. I know this is the only time you get off, and you finally, met somebody that could go somewhere. I guess you listen, we'd be willing to do all kind of things when we really, really, really just want to make a connection. So I get it. But for me, that would just be another sign. Like, this is my only weekend. A 2-hour drive has now turned into a 4-hour drive. And then I got to drive all the way back. Am I really going to be rested when it's time for me to go back to work? Probably not. So for me, that's another notch for me to be like, okay, she's operating a little bit from some desperate energy. What do you think, Wolfpack? What do you think about a woman driving 4 hours to come see you and you just met her? What does that say to you about her? Does that seem thirsty, or does she just seem like a real generous person and she really just wants to come and see me?
It's like Friday, and I'm like, I can just go see him. I pack up my car.
Yep.
I head to Houston, and it's like a 4-hour drive there,
4
right?
hours.
I'm about an hour away, and I call him, and I'm like, hey, like, surprise. Like, I'm about to be in your city.
I haven't watched it yet, y'all.
At first he was like really excited, and he was like, oh my gosh, like, thanks for coming all this way for me. He asked me like where I was going to be staying, and I was like, I'm not sure yet. Like, I'm calling all the hotels in the area to try and get a room for tonight. And so he's like, oh, you can just stay with me.
Girl, first of all, why are you driving over with no plan or where to stay? So let's say in my mind, if I'm a man, I know I'm gonna get some cheeks. Like, you gotta use now. This is my mind. This is what I'm thinking. I'm not gonna take it, y'all. This is just where my mind is going. Like, okay, you came all this way, you didn't make a plan anywhere to stay, so that must mean you want to stay with me. So that must mean you want to give me the cheeks.
Yeah, listen, fair, very fair. And I ain't even gonna hold you as a woman too, especially if I'm making the effort, whether I'm getting on a plane, whether I'm getting on an Amtrak, whether I'm getting on Greyhound. If I'm traveling distance, I plan on spreading it wide open. I'm gonna just keep it real. So I don't know what her thoughts were. She seems like a wholesome lady, but at the end of the day, she know what it is. She know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether she wanted him to invite her to his house or she wanted to get a room and see how things went and then maybe go to his place or bring him back to her, whatever. Trust me, for her to travel 4 hours, it was in the conscience. Okay, let's just keep it a buck.
The buns, whatever y'all want to call it nowadays, right?
Well, I didn't feel comfortable staying with him because I like didn't know him.
Well,
So
that'd
I
be
was like, no, it's
crazy.
okay. Like, I'll get a hotel. I'm just like struggling right now because I've been trying to call for the last 30 minutes and all of them are booked because of the marathon was that weekend in town.
Lord.
How
So
convenient.
I'm like, let me just keep trying and then I'll call you. So another 30 minutes goes by and I still do not have a hotel for the night. And at this point, it's like 10 p.m.
What?
So
It's 10 p.m. So you just left at least about 4 or 5. This is why you can't get that meat brain. When I said my meat brain, it means you going up there thinking you about to meet this person. And it also could be you think about to get some meat, right? You get meat brain. I'm going to meet this person and I'm going to get some meat. It's going to mess my mind, it messes with your mind and your planning and your critical thinking skills.
Absolutely.
So you should have planned a hotel room and stuff like that before you just got giddy and hopped in the whip.
I call him again and I'm like, hey, like I'm still looking for a hotel. Like I have not been able to get one.
Hold on, pause. What you mean, Wolfpack? What you mean you're not letting her come see you? Why? Oh, you're saying this woman specific. Okay, pretend it's somebody that you're attracted to. Okay, let's go with that. This is all just hypothetical, right? She may not be your type, but guess what? She's somebody type. Somebody like it, okay? Somebody like it. I promise you.
He gets so angry. He starts yelling at the like top of his lungs. Like he is telling like how irresponsible of me was it to like drive without having a clear plan on like where I was going to stay for the night. And I'm like so taken aback.
Really, he's mad because you didn't take him up on his offer to stay with him. So he's frustrated that he offered you a place to come and you said no, which means he ain't getting none. And secondly, now you wasting his time because that was the end goal anyway.
Because I'm like you're right. Like I should have had a plan, but also like, I don't know. I was trying to be spontaneous and like surprise you and stuff. So I'm over here thinking like,
wait, what does she mean surprise him? Like if they had already agreed that she would come to see, how is that a surprise? So now I think she's probably leaving out some parts of the story. Because if y'all decided that y'all was going to meet halfway and then now he can't, but then you're coming to see him, how is that a surprise? Now I'm confused. Now I feel like this heifer playing with me and I don't like that. But we're going to give her the benefit of the doubt. What'd he say? Why would she get it? Especially if you coming. But here's the thing too, like if the conversation has always been just on some superficial or just really just getting to know each other and sex had not entered the conversation, then I could see her contemplating a hotel room. But for him, he's thinking like 95% of us would, if you come in to see me from that far, then why are you getting a room? Because this is what you came for, right? Claire Huxtable, man, listen. She don't exist no more, Wolfpack, man. She gone. Ain't no more Claire Huxtables out there, okay? Sorry, I've been watching too much, what's his name? Damon Darling. Ain't no more. They ain't out there, okay, but ain't no more. All right, they gone. All you got is IG baddies, okay? That's what you got to work with, okay? You hear me? All right. She don't exist.
like, it's fine. Like I'll keep looking, even if I have to go like outside of the main city where he was staying to like get a hotel, right? I was
far.
But it's so late at night now. It's after 10 p.m., 10:30 now. What's the goal here? You see what I'm saying? Is this late at night you still trying to go see him or you just trying to find somewhere to stay?
And it's like no big deal. Definitely not worth like going on a huge yelling rant for. No. And I think that just kind of like freaked me out because I kept trying to like speak in like a quieter, like calm.
No, it should. That's one of these. He's yelling at you like that. That's a red flag from first meeting somebody.
Tone to like see if he would come down. And then he didn't. He just like kept getting more angry. And so I was like, okay, yeah, like this isn't a character trait that I am particularly like attracted to, because if you're like having a disagreement and you're not able to regulate your emotions from like up here to here, that kind of scares me a little bit. So
it should.
I was like, ooh, like I said, you know what? It's okay. Like, don't worry about it. And so I call around, I get a hotel within the next like 10 to 15 minutes, but I ended up having to pay like a hefty price. Like I think that hotel was like $350 for the night because it was the marathon was happening. And so I was like, ouch. But at the same time, like, you know, it was what was available. So I did it. Well, I was so turned off by the yelling at me. So I didn't call him again after that.
Good job.
I stayed at that hotel for the night. The next day, I went and had like a really nice lunch. So I had like a luxury bath at the hotel. I treated myself to like a fancy lunch before driving all the way back.
Oh,
another 4 hours. Woo! And so like it was just a
what is the luxury bath?
No, I get it though. I get it. I know you have the goal of going to see this person.
What's the luxury bath, y'all? So before the original plan was we live this far away. I'm gonna go 2 hours. You're gonna go 2 hours. Most likely the male is gonna pay for dinner, get to know each other, and then go back. Now she done drove 4 hours to go see this guy. Didn't work out. She went with her instincts, her God-given instincts, like, oh, this brother got an emotional problem, anger management issue. Let me just go ahead and not go see him. So I give her a kudos for realizing that. I wish, she had realized that before she got on the road. But listen, people are representatives. They only gonna show you what they want until they, don't get until you listen. When you tell a person no, that's when the true colors come out. I'm gonna just tell you that the Bible says to test the spirit, and that is the easiest way to tell you. Tell a person no, or you don't do what a person wants you to do. That demon is gonna come out of them. Okay, so she did what was right, but now she done spent money on gas going 4 hours one way, 4 hours another way. She didn't have to spend $300 on a hotel. She didn't pay for a luxury bath and an expensive lunch. Back on the road, back home. I want to know, what did she learn from this? What did she learn from this? Did she say what she learned from this? I think that's the end of the video, but I'm going to let it play and see if she actually tells exactly what it is that she learned from this. Yeah. What a reaper workflow. What you fail at, Wolfpack? You failed at meeting your Claire Huxtable? Listen, I was just being a pessimist. She might still be out there. Keep looking. Keep hope alive. Lauren says, yeah, after yelling at me, it will be all bets off. Who, excuse me? Who are you yelling at? Who are you talking to? I'm out here in the dark trying to find a hotel so that me and you can meet up tomorrow, and you yelling at me because I won't come over and let you smash. That's the problem. Click. Even with family members, yeah. Facts. Let's see if she talked about what she learned, and then we're gonna watch the other video, and then I'm out.
And possibly meeting this person and whatnot, and maybe, you know what I'm saying, having this stuff, whatever's gonna happen happens, right? But then, like, good for you. I know you didn't plan on things like on this type of stuff happening, and him losing his mind and things like that. But it's kind of good that he did now. Right. It's good that he lost his mind right now, so you can know who he is right now, so you don't waste time. Yeah, you got on the road for 4 hours or 8 hours total, didn't have a room or whatever the case may be, but you ended up outing this person for who they are earlier on, right? You know who he is right now, as opposed to finding out later on after he done lost his mind, you done gave him 2-3 years and a baby or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Lesson learned. Like, for me personally, do not make the drive to go see a guy for the first time. And if you do,
bingo,
definitely do not drive 4 hours. Like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. Like, if he's asking, like, can you meet me halfway, and it's like an hour drive and you meet 30 minutes, sure. Anything more than that, I don't know. Like, from my personal experience, I'm going to have to, like, say no. It's a no for me. Okay? But how far would you drive to meet a guy for the first time? Like, put it in the comments.
Yeah, for the first time, I almost went to see an old friend of mine, but I've known this person for like 15 years, and so I was willing to drive 3 hours to the DMV where I go once a quarter anyway to eat, as you guys know, because the food here in Virginia sucks. But somebody that I just met, honestly, I don't suggest that for a man either, especially if the man is expecting to get something, because I don't know if you guys know this, but women, we are very fickle. You know what I'm saying? We could be all down for it, and you say one thing, and it's like Sahara Desert down there. At least that's how it is for me. So driving 4 hours, you got to make sure you really on the same page before you take that drive. Wolfpack Man says, I don't even have to flirt. I know that's right, Wolfpack Man. Life lessons, fickle. Yes, we are fickle pickles. Facts. But I'm glad she learned her lesson. Yeah, driving 4 hours to meet somebody you just met. So for me, just met means she hasn't known this man for more than a month. I would have to say they've probably been chatting for like 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. And I think it's important to move things a little fast too and meet up. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you realize, okay, I like this person, let me just see if we have chemistry right away. But soon as his car broke down, that should have been a wrap. You should have been like, okay, let's just take some more time to get to know each other. Then when your car works again, right? When you get it out of that shop, that proverbial shop that them cars just be in, right? Then we'll meet up and see, 2 hours, one way, 2 hours. Yeah, I think it's worth it because that's far enough distance to where, you can make long distance work. I don't suggest long distance. I've done it before. It sucks. But interesting. All right. So we're going to look at Ace right quick. He did a video yesterday that I wanted to react to. Y'all going to see who I'm subscribed to. Let me see. Look at Michonne. Messy on there. Just saw it yesterday. Okay, let me just go to. There he is. Nope, not that one. But this is the guy. Ace OG. And I like Ace. You know why? Because Ace be dropping that knowledge. And it be stuff that we should know anyways, but it's nice to get a reminder from, a guy. But here's the thing too. Ace tells it like it is, but I feel like he does it he does it because he actually cares, right? You know what I'm saying? He be bringing up some good points. You know what I'm saying? And he don't be real mean about it, you know what I'm saying? But he be dropping some gems, stuff that we need to be thinking about. So this is for the ladies, but y'all fellas chime in if y'all agree or disagree with what he's saying. But the question is, are women single by choice? Let's make it full screen. We gonna let that ad play so Ace can get his paper.
I think it's going to be the thumbnail for this one. Don't have too many ideas about thumbnails for the particular topic, but yeah, I'm gonna throw the algorithm off a little bit. My algorithm a little
What
bit.
What up, Couch?
This is a topic that I had spoke about on a video recently, and I do have some video requests that are coming through for some folks that are subscribed to me.
Been there, done that.
So I want to definitely knock those out, and those are not in line with what I've been doing for the last week, as for like motivating folks on YouTube. So I don't know. I may wind up doing 2 videos a day for a little bit. I'm not exactly sure. We'll see what happens. But I definitely want to honor those video requests, and I want to knock this out pretty quickly here because I don't want to forget, because I will forget about topics. Even though I write them down, I still will forget. My memory is not that great, and like I said before in that particular video, when I said I was going to talk about this topic, it seemed like my relationship topics and videos get a lot of views. So of course, like I said before, I'm trying to run this bag up on YouTube. I'm trying to get myself out here. So this is gonna be one of the videos that may help out. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Because I have a little bit of a I think a different take on this, and I have not seen anybody make a video about this topic. At least not in my algorithm, not in my feed. So we'll see what happens, right? So what up? What up? It's ASTOG. Back with another topic. Back with another video. So the title of this video is gonna be,
What's good?
are women single by choice? Question mark.
Are
So I
they?
have the notes. Thanks again to all the
Pause.
subscribers that have
What do y'all
subscribed to my
think?
channel. I endeavor.
Are women single by choice? Lauren, Wolfpack, Couch, Reaper. Are we single by choice? Or are we single by our choices? Which is it? I need to know. What do y'all think? Okay, Black Couch says yes. Okay, look at Couch being nice. Lauren says some, but not all. So if they're not single by choice, then why are they single? Are they involuntary celibate? Like a lot of men we see online? Is it the same for women as it is for men? Because for some reason, men think that women have all of these options and all of these, and that if you single, it's because, well, Ace is going to get to it. I'll let him. Picky. Yes. They just want money. Lauren said, because they can't keep a man. Listen, that's me. I can get him. I just can't keep him. I ain't even gonna hold you. Yep, picky, or they're too picky. Okay, let's see what Ace say.
To keep pushing the videos out, to give you leverage, the better it sells. Also, I want to do another admin note here before I get into the topic.
Pause.
So I had a person.
What? Hold on. Don't listen. Don't stop none. Won't be none. Couch. MSDs overvalue themselves. Not all, but okay. You redeemed yourself with the not all, my brother, from another mother. Okay. MSDs. But yeah, you're right. So a lot of times we do. We think we got the best snatch. We think we got, what I'm saying? Like, it's true. But as I always say, reality will show people what they are. A woman can say, I want 6 men that got 6 inches, 6 figures, a 6-pack. You know what I'm saying? But if she can't get that, reality has shown. So why get mad? Why do men be mad when a woman says she wants more than what she can actually pull in? Don't be mad. Let reality show her. That's what I say.
That responded to a comment from a subscriber that I have, and the subscriber, well, not, I'm sorry, not this. The subscriber that gave me the comment was trying to help me out, just giving me a suggestion, and the other person, who I don't know if he or she's a subscriber or not, had came for her. And I'm like, I think that they did it in good faith, trying to protect me. But bottom line, please be respectful up here on this platform.
Sorry, he's got a little housekeeping and
feel like somebody has been disrespectful to
the topic, so it won't be long.
I would say let it ride, honestly. I really don't need anybody to come for anybody else on this channel. A lot of times when folks come for me, the comment doesn't even post, because normally they'll be cussing me out and YouTube will flag it anyway. Right? So I really don't need anybody to protect me when it comes to that, but I appreciate the sentiment. But I think the way they did it was out of line, and I responded back to it as well. So I know sometimes I'll be giving some controversial stuff up here, but yeah, be respectful in the comments, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're all family here. We're all trying to learn something, right? So I don't want anybody to get into a pissing contest with somebody else in a video, because it's not worth it. It really isn't. So let's get into it. So are women single by choice? I know I believe the topic for like 3 minutes here. So I'm gonna be real quick when it comes to the topic. So in my personal experience with women, a lot of times when women say that they are single by choice, it is a safety mechanism to a certain degree. And what I mean by that is that a lot of women will say that because they probably have had so many men reach out to them to try to date them, and they have rejected all of them because these men didn't check off all the blocks that they needed to have checked off, right? They have a larger list of what they want to have in a man, and these men didn't reach the mark, right? So even though these men are pursuing them, they're choosing not to date these guys because they're just not what they want, right? But it could be a lot of men, right? You know what I'm saying? Because even your average looking woman can get hundreds of DMs in a DM. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's not even close to how a man is when it comes to that same perspective. You know what I'm saying? Most men can't get dates. You know what I'm saying? Most men are single not by choice because they can't get women. They don't know how to talk to women, right?
Is that true, y'all? Are most men single because they can't get women? Is that a fact? I need to know. Because I always thought there was more women than men, and there's just a plethora of women to go around.
So it's a real extreme when it comes to women being able to date versus men are able to date.
Right? Better not start doing like
so when women say they're single by choice, the first thing I'm thinking is that the man that you wanted doesn't want you, and you know, and you're getting all these men trying to get at you, but these guys are not reaching the mark. They're not meeting the standard that you have for them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying for women to lower their standards when it comes to men. Because that's gonna be a problem anyway. You know what I'm saying? If the man doesn't reach certain benchmarks that they want, even if they settle, eventually the woman is probably going to become discontent. And you don't want to marry a man or accept marriage from a man that doesn't check off enough blocks for you to be content with that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women will marry a man thinking that they're, you know, that they know they're 90% there when it comes to what they want, but then that 10%, they're going to try to change that man to the point where they're going to reach the other 10% that they wanted, and now they got the perfect husband. They got the perfect man. And I'm telling you right now, you can get your freaking heartbroken thinking that way. You know what I'm saying? You are. Because there's a really good possibility, a really good chance that man will never reach that 10%. And it's not that the man doesn't want to grow. It's just that the person is.
So what do you guys think so far? I think, just like Lauren said, it works both ways. Two things could be true at the same time. It could be women are bitter. We've been through enough and we decided we just don't want to date anymore. And it could also be that the men that we want don't want us, and the ones that do want us, we don't want. Like, I think all of that can be true all at the same time. And Couch says we guard our peace. That's why men are single. Yeah. Yeah, because there's a lot that comes with it, especially when you're dealing with like a lot of millennial women or these Gen X, Gen Z women. They're different. And even the Gen Xers, you know what I'm saying, that follow social media and change their stances and go along with, you know, what the masses say we should want. So yeah, dating these days is difficult. And yeah, the older we get, the more we guard our peace. Facts. And, you know, just so you know, women want peace just like men do. You know, you guys are always talking about, we just want peace. We just want you to F us, feed us, and shut the F. Listen, we want the same thing. Okay. Truth is, God will bring you the right mate at the right time. Just my 2 cents. That's what's up. That's true. You know, we just got to be patient, you know. Oftentimes I think we be forced and stuff, you know, and they don't be the right person, you know. But like he said, you know, you get with somebody and they're not everything, but then those few things that you desire that he does not have, you trying to change him into that. And when the truth is, you have to really just accept people for who they are, you know. And if you can't live with those things, then you got to let them go. I don't like it when people get with people knowing that's not really what they really want, and knowing they're not going to be happy in a few years, you know. I don't like that. Like if you know something don't work, cut it loose. You saving everybody. That's one I do not waste my time. I don't waste your time. You gotta let it go. Everything else is learning life lessons. Yeah. And sometimes you don't know what you don't like until you get into it and you realize, ooh, I don't like that. Couch says, I say we make any future marriages illegal and then we watch MSD. Whatever. Gen X. That's right. We do. Absolutely. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Yeah. Y'all want drama. Some people like drama. Some people need that. Some people like all of that toxic and, because that's to them, that's life. That's living. That's, my son said the other day, he said, a relationship is good when you argue. I said, where did you hear that? I said, that ain't true. I said, now, when you can work through the argument and come to a common understanding and move past it, that's a good relationship. But having drama and arguing, not in my opinion. I think he heard that from a short on YouTube or something. Hey, Lady Diana, how you doing? Hope your Monday is going well. Lauren says, yes, you have to accept things and work through things. No one is perfect. Nobody is perfect. But that's the thing, like you have to know. And even Joe had me do this. He said, Mo, write down a list of things that you want in a partner. He said, now 6 of them, he said a list of say 10 things. He said 6 of them are like the absolute must-haves. There's no wavering from it. You got to have those things. And then 3 things that you're willing to deal with. And then 3 things that are absolutely no, So that's more than 10, huh? But however he numbered it. But I think at the end of the day, it's really important to, know thyself. You got to know what you like and what you don't like. That's half the battle. So if somebody comes to you automatically with one of those things on your list that is absolute no-go, don't even continue entertaining it because it's not going to work. Like he could be hella fine. He could have good, whatever. But if he has 10 kids, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. You just don't do it because in the beginning it's fun, but later on when you're going to have to support them 10 kids, it's going to be a problem, right? Does Bishop listen to The Godfather? No, but he don't have to. He is naturally red pill. He is naturally MSG. I'm raising a boy. You guys are loyal to each other to a fault. It is natural. God made you guys that way. Trust me. Me and him have debates about Adam and Eve all the time. And to this day, he will say Eve was wrong. It's all her fault why the world is the way it is. And I'll be looking at him like, who raised you? Who raised you? I did. But yet, innately, he takes up for men. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. That's how God made us. And I think we should. I think women should stand up for women and have women's back. You know what I'm saying? Call out the BS. And for me, calling out a woman's BS is having her back. That's real love. That's real sisterhood. And same with the men. Call out their BS, but also you're a man. So you know what it takes and what it means and all that good stuff, Finger red number 1. Let's see. Oh, thanks. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. It's not easy, but it ain't too hard, honestly. All right, let's see what else he's got to say.
It's who they are when you marry them, right? So, growth will happen over time. Maturity will happen over time. But there's certain men and there's certain things about men that will not change about them because that's who they are as a person. So when a woman accepts a marriage from a man, and they're thinking that they can change as a man and mold them into who they want over time, it's ridiculous. I got a daughter, man. I'm telling you, y'all, when my daughter gets to the age which she can date, I'm gonna tell her right now, believe what you see when you date a man. Believe what he tells you the first time, you know what I'm saying, and observe who he is. And you have to really believe in your mind and accept who he is, because if you don't, and you think that he has a potential to be a certain person, and then he doesn't reach that, then how much time have you wasted on that person? You know what I'm saying? So, that's all to say that I think that's one of the main reasons why women are single by choice, or at least they choose to say they're single by choice, because there's a pool of men that are out there available to them, but they want none of them. You know what I'm saying? Because these men are not reaching the mark, right? There's so many dating shows out there on the internet. I forget the Pop the Balloon. That one's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I know folks have probably seen that particular YouTube channel, but I've watched some of the episodes, and it's almost insane to see what standards some of these women have. It's freaking delusion. It's delusion, I'm telling you, because that's the reason why most of the women out there probably single. Honestly, it's crazy. That's a crazy show, man. It's a crazy show. But that's one example of why women are single by choice. At least they choose to be single by choice. Now, I know some folks going to get up here on this video and make some comments about what I'm saying when it comes to that. So I'm gonna throw you a bone when it comes to a positive sense as far as women want to be single by choice. Some women are single by choice because they're tired of dating. They're tired of being disappointed. They're tired of, having men lie to them, right? And tell them that they are a certain person, or at least they portray to be a certain person. And then, weeks, months later, they get exposed, and they're like, the woman's probably like, man, like, I really thought this guy was going to be at least a potential mate, a potential husband. And as I'm getting to know this guy is like, he's not what I want, like not even close to what I want. Now she moves on to the other guy. Other guy presents himself very well, same thing happens. So you have a lot of women that have dated for so long, for so many years, and they're like, man, screw dating. I can't deal with men anymore. I'm just gonna be by myself. I'm gonna chill out, what I'm saying. I may have a man buy me dinner once in a while, but I don't want to date anymore because I'm tired of being disappointed. So that's one of the reasons, right? Another reason why women...
Hold on, pause. Do you guys agree with him? First of all, do you guys believe that when women get into relationships, we want to change that man, and that's where we fail because he doesn't change, and then we're disappointed, so then we get bitter, and then we just say F it, or we meet a man, date him, and then realize he's not what we want, and then the next one is the same thing, and you're just like, screw it, Lady Diana says, don't ever think you can change a man or fix him. Facts. He is who he is. He's got to have that internal motivation to do, say, better or different, and he's right too. Like, a lot of us do have those unrealistic expectations. Like, when you do watch a lot of social media, the thing is, when I look at social media, and then when I talk to, say, my friends who I know that are also single, they don't spout that BS, you know what I'm saying? But I know there are women out there that do watch this stuff and really do feel the same way as a lot of the stuff that we see online. So delusion is at its all-time high. I will say that, but just like men, like when men get their hearts broken and then it takes them a while to trust again, women are the same way. I think it's easier. I think women do, what's that saying? When you still have hope that, you're a hopeless romantic. I think more women are hopeless romantics than men are. And we will continue to try, but it is hard. And then another thing I think too, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, men are dating a lot of times, I think, just to get what's in between the woman's legs, right? So he's saying all the things, whatever it takes to just get in between, just to conquer that, right? And then after he gets that, he will see if it's worth continuing, right? With women, we're getting to know you or whatever. And as we're getting to know you, we're already trying to figure out, is this somebody I want long term? So it's like when we don't give it up right away, we're waiting to see if he's going to meet, that standard that we've set in our heads, right? But we're thinking long term. But the men are not thinking long term. So I think also that's where the disconnect is, when you have men dating just to get what's in between the legs and then they decide, and then you have women that are holding it and not wanting to open it up because they want to make sure that you're the right one, So I feel like it's like a weird catch-22, and we're just not on those old school values anymore. And I don't know. But yeah, Diana's right. Don't ever think you can fix. Listen, nah, that's something he did. God got to come down and tell that man, no, you need to do X, Y, and Z, you know, or he has to be inspired. But I don't think a woman can truly inspire. I think a woman can push their man. A woman can definitely be behind their man and make things easy for him to be able to accomplish the goals that he set. But, you know, and he has to love you so much that he wants to provide in a certain way that will make him, you know, go out and do more, you know. But I think when we get with somebody, we can see the potential in them, but we gotta call a spade a spade. And if this is what they present, you just gotta know that it may not get better or different than what you see, you know? Totally delusional. Oh, you like him? Ace the OG. Go ahead and follow his page. He's a good guy. Joking aside, I blame one, the feminist movement from the 60s, two white liberal women pushing their ish. Yeah. Yeah. That's part of it. There's a whole lot of issues and things like that that attribute to the dating phase right now in society. You know, social media is one. Social media has a big part to do with it. Oh my gosh. I was watching, what's my homeboy's name? Alter Ego Sean. And he was saying that social media will have you delusional and make you think that, you know, your options are big, that you have a lot of options, when in fact you really don't. Like, okay, you may have 50 men pining for you in your DMs, but in real life, those men really, it's really not a thing, because half of them are somewhere else in a whole nother state, ain't gonna ever see you, ain't gonna ever. So we have to be realistic about what we got going. Like, do we really have that many options, men and women? You know, even if you're a baddie, even if you are a baddie, do you really have all of those options? Because once a person really gets to know who you are, a lot of times those options dwindle away once they realize you're not this, you're not that, you don't have that, you know? So it may look like a lot, but in actuality, it ain't. Diana says, I am single right now, but I have a lot of male friends that make me feel good about finding a good man one day. So what's up with them? Are they single males? What's up with them, lady? You don't like them, huh? Because I know at least half of them been tried to holler. So is Ace are you making Ace's point right now? You got some men trying to holler at you and get to know you and take you out and all them things, but you like, what's going on, Lady Diana? True, but not all the time. Be right back. Gotta take a phone call. Okay, Lauren, if I missed the ending, thank you. Great live. I appreciate you. Social media in itself is delusional. Facts. They are too young for my age range. Says who? What's the date? What's the age range? Let's talk about that right now.
Say they choose to be single by choice because they are career minded. They want to have a career, and they know that if they wind up being with a guy that meets all the benchmarks that they have, it may affect her drive to pursue a career. Or the guy may tell her that I don't want you to work, or I don't want you to pursue a career. I want you to do A, B, and C, especially if you're my wife. If you're my wife, then you know I'm not going to support you doing something that's outside of taking care of the family. And some women are so career minded that you know that they choose not to be with a man because they know that it's potential for the man to hold them back from having a career. So that's another thing as well. You know what I'm saying? Some women are single by choice because they don't want to have children. Some women are single by choice because they just don't want to deal with the aspects of dating. Like they're like, it's not necessarily like they're tired of men. It's like they don't even want to go through the whole gambit of dating anymore. You know what I'm saying? They're just sick of it. You know what I'm saying? So those are some of the things that I'm gonna give to women when it comes to being single by choice, right? But I'm telling you, man, a lot of women I've met in life, a lot of women I've met in my life, you know what I'm saying? They're waiting for that man to come, and they're saying they're single by choice because the man that they want don't want them.
Boom.
How to use AutoCode Explorer. First, start a.
Is he right? The men that we want don't want us.
So it's all about personal growth, right? It's all about presenting yourself in the best way possible. So if you want the man, if you want the man that you want, right? If you want the man to be with you that you want, right? For lack of better words, you know, so you have to kind of like mold yourself to that certain degree. Men do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Men do a lot of things they don't want to freaking do to attract women. All the time, you know what I'm saying? You know, a man may not be aesthetically handsome, you know what I'm saying? But he knows this. He's not delusional. He knows that he's not handsome. So now he's going to do a whole bunch of other things to attract women because he knows that he's not aesthetically pleasing, right? You have men that are aesthetically pleasing, but they don't have a good job, right? Or they don't have a good career. They have multiple kids. So now they have to try even harder to overcome those things to be able to date women, right? Men do this stuff.
Is that true? That men make up for their shortcomings? Is that true? Very, very interesting. Because is that fake? That's just like women losing weight or leveling up, you know, changing their hairstyle in order to catch a man. And then does that last though? Like if that's not you, you know, is that being fake or is that just improving your chances of getting what you want? And then once you do those things and you make those changes about yourself, whether it be career, gaining more money, losing weight, you know, leveling up, getting your hair and nails done, all that stuff to attract the opposite sex. How long do we keep it up once we get the person? You know what I'm saying? The career aspect factors in big time. I get that. But at the same time, if you already with her, you know she not going nowhere. I think that's the issue. I think because you know she ain't going nowhere, that career thing is an excuse. I've seen couples didn't have anything, but they went on ahead and got married. And that union, that commitment is what kind of drove both of them to work together to make more money. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, if you with a woman and you with her, and especially if you guys got kids and everything, what's the purpose? Like, just go ahead and get married and make it a union so that God could bless it. You know what I'm saying? And it can be better. I tell this to my friends all the time that I know that, you know, are just dating women, got multiple kids, been living together for years and years. And I'm just like, bro, like, why you don't just marry her? Like, what is the problem? You know what I'm saying? I don't wait until I can start my own personal business. I want to just, bruh, you have a whole family. Really? I just think that's crazy and selfish. Modern women can get a cat if they put their careers first and not the fam. Yeah. You see, I got me a dog. Diane says within 10 years younger or 2 years older. That's my age range. Okay, you're 67. So 57 and up. 57 to 69. Okay. I would never put you with a 69-year-old Lady Di. I'm so sorry. Ain't no way. You too active, you too pretty, you too young looking. They don't need to know how old you are. And I just told your age. I'm so sorry. But they don't need to know. You know what I'm saying? I see you with maybe 55, between like maybe like 50, like maybe like 52, between like 52 and 65. 52 and 65 max. Not even, I'm gonna say 65 max, Lady Di. I just, I can't see you with no, because I thought I could do it. You know, I tried a 56-year-old, I tried a 58-year-old, and oh my God, the 58-year-old actually had it going on better than the 56-year-old. But that's the problem too. Like, I'm 46. Men that are 46 don't holler at me. It's the 30-year-olds, the late 20-year-olds, and the 60-something-year-olds. And I'm just like, bruh, like, can I get a nice 51-year-old? Can I get a nice 48-year-old? Nope. So Ace might be on it when he say, what you want, don't want you. And I don't know what else to do, okay? Because I'll be in the gym like 5 times a week. But that's okay. I'm going to get my man one day. One day he going to come, right? I think we try to keep ourselves together on the money front, physical front, to stay on point. Yeah, it should all go together. Women too. Like, we got to make sure that we are taken care of. We're taking care of ourselves physically, financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all of that stuff. We all, I mean, and that really is the bottom line. Like, we got to be our best selves in order to attract the best of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So, because I've told this story before. The last person I was with, I was at my lowest of low, and that was literally like one of the worst relationships I had ever been in. Right? Just the things that I saw, the things I endured and allowed, and when I look back, it's like, oh my God, you were stupid. But at the end of the day, I was at my lowest of my low emotionally, all of those things, spiritually, everything. So that's what I attracted, you know. But I'm gonna get it together. Is it like short men driving big? Making up for them shortcomings, right? Oh my goodness. Black Couch says, you think my sense of humor, so take my comments knowing that. Oh yeah, I got you. I know that some of the things that you say is true as well, is coming from a truth. Because, I don't think that a joke is always 100% joke. I think part of it you actually believe, which is why people say it, you know what I'm saying? And they form it or frame it in a joking way so that it's more palatable. And that's okay too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a right to have their own opinions and what they think, you know what I'm saying, whether I agree with it or not, or whether it's harsh, but it is what it is, Let's finish up with Ace, and then I gotta go. I was supposed to be somewhere like 10 minutes ago. Y'all got me on here on this thing here. Let's finish up with Ace right now. Did it rewind
recently? And I do have by myself. See, especially if you're my wife. If you're my wife, then I'm not going to support you doing something that's outside of taking care of the family. And some women are so career-minded that that they choose not to be with a man because they know that it's potential for the man to hold them back from having a career. So that's another thing as well. You know what I'm saying? Some women are single by choice because they don't want to have children. Some women are single by choice because they just don't want to deal with the aspects of dating. Like, it's not necessarily like they're tired of men. It's like they don't even want to go through the whole gambit of dating anymore. You know what I'm saying? They're just sick of it. You know what I'm saying? So those are some of the things that I'm gonna give to women when it comes to being single by choice, right? But I'm telling you, man, a lot of women that I've met in life, a lot of women I've met in my life, you know what I'm saying? They're waiting for that man to come, and they're saying they're single by choice because the man that they want don't want them. So it's all about personal growth, right? It's all about presenting yourself in the best way possible. So if you want the man, if you want the man that you want, right? If you want the man to be with you that you want, right? For lack of better words, so you have to kind of like mold yourself to that certain degree. Men do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Men do a lot of things they don't want to freaking do to attract women. All the time, you know what I'm saying? A man may not be aesthetically handsome, you know what I'm saying? But he knows this. He's not delusional. He knows that he's not handsome. So now he's going to do a whole bunch of other things to attract women because he knows that he's not aesthetically pleasing, right? You have men that are aesthetically pleasing, but they don't have a good job, right? Or they don't have a good career. They have multiple kids. So now they have to try even harder to overcome those things to be able to date women, right? Men do this stuff all the time. We're always running the gambit to try to figure out how we're going to be able to get women, versus a woman can sit there and have men by the hundreds come at them. You know what I'm saying? So when they say they're being single by choice, like I said, the first thing I'm thinking is that you just haven't found the guy that you want has not found you yet.
Listen, even in my heyday, when I was just all of that in a bag of chips, it still wasn't hundreds. It was a lot, yes, because they wanted to, but maybe you know how we be exaggerating. We exaggerate everything. So maybe he means tens.
You're not the person that the guy that you want doesn't want you. I don't know, man. So drop the comments, conversation below. Let me know what y'all think. I know I kind of belabored the topic a little bit, but hopefully I explained this topic the best way possible. And I know I'm gonna have some comments. I know I'm gonna have some folks get up here and say some things. Hey, I'm all for the smoke, man. I'm all for the smoke. You know what I'm saying? So, say what you want. You know, like I said before in other videos, I make videos right here. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this and when it comes to other videos, to get knowledge, to impart knowledge, but also to get knowledge. So, you know, when folks comment on my videos, I take all these comments with a grain of salt, but also analyze them as well. Because
that's what's up. So let's see. What did we take away from Ace? What did we learn? Let me think. This is what I took away. I took away that if man has a shortcoming, he will do other things to make up for that. And that if women want the man that we desire, right, then we gonna have to do the same thing. That's pretty much what I took away from it. Yeah, he does make some good points. Thank you, Lady Di. What's up, Michelle? We will try to make up for lack of looks, resources, etc. What's the percentage of men that you think do that? I'm willing to bet. Yeah, I'm willing to bet a lot of men are content with where they at. I don't know. But maybe it's the ones that I'm attracting, right? So maybe I got to step my game up so I can attract the ones that he may not be that fine, but he makes a lot of money, or he may have 10 kids, but he also owns $1 million company. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You know? Lady Diana says, you get what you give. Okay. I like that. All right, y'all. Well, we're going to end it here. Okay. Thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate you for checking me out. Thanks for sticking in there and giving feedback. Lauren, you back and we about to be out. But I think the bottom line is, for me, this is what I've learned, right? Being with another person or getting married or having a mate, I don't think is the end all be all. Having a relationship with the Most High is the most important relationship that any of us can have. And I am so sincere when I say that. Having a relationship with Him. Once you give Him credit for everything, He will bring to you what you desire and what you deserve, if it's in His will. But your relationship with God is the most important. Okay? And to be honest, some of us don't need to be with other people. I'm going to just keep it 1,000. Like, some of us got a lot of issues, a lot of things that we have not resolved, a lot of mommy issues, daddy issues that we have not truly resolved. We think we have. We think we've moved on. We think we've forgiven and forgave and all that. We really haven't. And we take those gripes and all of that stuff and that negative energy into relationships, and then we ruin another person. And that's not right, you know? So I think it's very important for us to look back. Like, sometimes I look back on relationships and I could pinpoint where I effed up, right? Even with my child's father, I know exactly where I effed up, right? So it's important for us to know these things in order to move forward and not do it to the next person. But we have to be honest. A lot of us are really not honest about our demons that we have not resolved yet, you know? So yeah, everybody ain't meant to be with somebody. But if you desire that, like Ace said, take a look in the mirror, change some things, be the best you in order to get what it is that you want to attract, right? Amen. Yep, God must be, He has to be in the formula. You know, a lot of people aren't religious these days, and that's cool. But when you out there in them trenches and things is going wrong, I bet you $10 you praying to the Most High for some help. You know what I'm saying? So don't deny Him. Don't ever deny Him. Me too, says Lauren. I will say that traveling opens up a lot of self-reflection and possibilities. Absolutely. Traveling, passport, going overseas, really just opening up your understanding and becoming, what's it called? When you're like well-traveled and well-cultured and things like that. Yeah, it opens up your mind. to possibilities and things like that. And you might be willing to date outside of your race or outside of your religion, outside of your culture, things like that. But like I said before, I think knowing who you are, you have to know that first. You got to know what you like, what you don't like. You know, that's the half the battle, you know. So anyways, you guys, I love you. I appreciate you all for being here. I'll see you guys on the flip side, probably in Michonne's Messy Michonne's chat later on, or on Demetria K's channel. That's where I know most of you guys. But I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. All right, take care. Yes, that is very true. Very true. All right, peace.